Well, today we're going to talk about one of the great instruments of science, the Voyager spacecraft.
Outsiders are subjugating us as they are on their way. Neil deGrasse Tyson shouts out, affirming the most confounding and unfortunate disclosure made by the explorer in the previous 10 years, a disclosure that researchers were not in the least bit ready for. Since the explorer sent back this upsetting information from space, the academic community has been unable to rest, and everybody is walking under a tense climate. Analysts, researchers, and engineers have been rushed from their stations to battle these mysterious objects that the explorer recently spotted. We don't have the foggiest idea where these bizarre objects are coming from or where they are going. However, what we do know is that we have never seen anything like them before. What are these baffling items that were recently found by Explorer 1? Join us today as we delve into these mysteries in Neil deGrasse Tyson's account of Explorer 1, which has identified 500 obscure objects passing by in space. For nearly 50 years, Explorer 1 has been cruising through the roadways of space, investigating the deep realms that ground-based telescopes have been prohibited from seeing and revealing discoveries that leave us in shock. This is all a result of the virtuoso minds at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory. Explorer 1 has been the brilliant key to unlocking the unknown regions of intergalactic space. This engineering masterpiece has opened our eyes to the staggering miracles that exist in our universe. In a new development, Neil deGrasse Tyson has confirmed that Explorer has identified 500 obscure objects coasting calmly in space. This news came as a shock to mainstream researchers, shaking them as everybody began poring over the data received from Explorer 1. Something unusual was brewing not too far off, and it was hard to solve this percolating puzzle that had baffled even the greatest researchers. Since Neil deGrasse Tyson confirmed this disclosure, unique interpretations have been flying, trying to draw a distinctive picture that makes sense of the mystery. Had it been another space apparatus sending this befuddling information, researchers might have questioned the legitimacy of the data. However, it is Explorer 1 we are discussing here, the space probe that has been cruising through the highways of space for nearly 50 years and has surpassed all expectations. Like a patient who beat a disease, Explorer 1 has exceeded researchers' extended life expectancy of 3 years and spent over 45 years in space, revealing history-making revelations all the while. The most charming part of this story is that Explorer is writing this tale of overcoming adversity from an exceptionally far distance from Earth. The last time researchers checked, the space probe was 14.5 billion miles away from our planet, hurrying ceaselessly in space with no sign of slowing down anytime soon. Specialists say the space probe has been traveling at a rate multiple times the distance between the Earth and the Sun each year. This is a hard pill for researchers to swallow, as one would have expected the space probe's speed to have declined significantly by now. However, Explorer 1 seems to be the exception, showing proof of this again with its most recent discoveries. It was just like any other day for researchers when Explorer 1 slammed invigorating news in their faces, one that would stick in their memories for a long time. Explorer 1 had stumbled upon some puzzling items passing by in space. This disclosure was spontaneous, which explains the initial confusion of cosmologists when they saw data showing that around 500 obscure objects had appeared out of nowhere. We had barely any insight into the presence of these objects, and the next moment researchers were breaking their minds searching for a solution to the puzzle that nature had landed on their laps. Researchers were in a fix, and the fault could be traced to a single culprit, Explorer 1. Ironically, researchers also knew that the answer to solving this mystery lay with the same space probe. At first, when the news of this revelation broke, a few researchers considered the possibility that it might have been a mistake. They thought that Explorer 1, after nearly 50 years of active service since it was launched in 1977, might finally be showing signs of fatigue and sending back low-quality data. As appealing as this account sounded, researchers advised that they shouldn't stop there, since it would be a disservice to the remarkable legacy of Explorer 1. Despite the challenges of space, Explorer 1 has consistently provided enlightening information about our universe. In opposition to the doubters, the space probe has maintained its long life thanks to its dual redundant computer systems. Like its twin, Voyager 2, Explorer 1 was equipped with 2 sets of command subsystems, Flight Data Systems, FDS, and Altitude and Attitude Control Systems, AACS. This redundancy has allowed the spacecraft to switch between systems and activate dormant parts, thereby extending its longevity. When planning Explorer 1, engineers on Earth devised a strategy to amplify the probe's productivity. They designed the probe's instruments using simplified systems reliant on hardware logic to conserve time and power. Explorer 1 systems consist of 6 onboard computers integrated as a distributed system, with 3 pairs of dual redundant computers. This design helped the space probe overcome many obstacles, including the daunting task of maintaining its systems in space. The real challenge, however, lay in managing power. With limited resources, engineers had to make difficult decisions, such as selectively shutting down non-essential systems. For instance, heaters that kept instruments at optimal temperatures had to be turned off to conserve power. Though this reduced energy consumption, it significantly extended Explorer 1's life expectancy, a mutually beneficial outcome for the mission and the space probe. This decision wasn't taken lightly, as it required careful assessments of compromises between power conservation and the scientific objectives of the spacecraft. However, specific power reduction isn't the only way that NASA engineers are keeping the Explorer 1 spacecraft functioning optimally in space. They had one more secret weapon up their sleeves, which they needed to put on the table for the benefit of the spacecraft and researchers. The engineers had to develop power management strategies that were adapted to the ever-changing conditions of the shuttle's environment. For example, as Explorer 1 voyages farther away from the Sun, the available solar energy decreases. This could pose an issue, but the engineers were prepared, compensating for this developing threat by ensuring the spacecraft adjusted its power usage accordingly. This adaptable approach is a victory for NASA engineers and researchers because it guarantees that the available power resources are efficiently allocated to support the probe's critical tasks and data transmission back to Earth. Interestingly, the good news doesn't end here. There have been ongoing technical advancements and upgrades in power management that have allowed specialists to refine and improve the power systems of the spacecraft over the years. A closer look at these improvements would reveal more efficient power distribution, improved battery charging techniques, and advancements in power regulation and control. The implementation of well-thought-out and planned power management procedures has opened an exciting door for engineers. It has made it possible for specialists to extend the operational lifespan of Explorer 1 alongside its twin Voyager 2. This is a major victory for the academic community and the world at large. The careful allocation and management of power resources have equipped Voyager 1 with the essential strength needed to continue exploring the depths of the universe. The discovery reverberated through the halls of scientific inquiry with seismic power. Neil deGrasse Tyson's dire decree resonated across the globe, interspersing 10 years of meticulous investigation by Explorer 1 amidst the vast territory of interstellar space. The spacecraft had coincidentally found an oddity of significant importance: 500 baffling elements, their beginnings and reasons cloaked in vast mystery. Quietly crossing through the void, this unexpected experience ignited a flurry of action within established research communities, where restless nights became the norm, and strain hung heavily as analysts, engineers, and scholars scrambled to unravel the implications of Explorer 1's disclosure. Defying a reality where the known laws of physics seemed to waver, Explorer 1, an insignia of human resourcefulness and determination, had surprised everyone. It continued its journey long past its expected life expectancy, becoming a beacon of exploration in the depths of space. Its instruments, meticulously designed to endure the rigors of space travel, now transmitted data that challenged conventional understanding. As the spacecraft continued its solitary journey through strange realms, it carried with it the hopes and fears of those still bound to Earth. Every data transmission, each signal received, illuminated new aspects of the universe's complexity, testing assumptions and inviting humankind to re-examine its place within the cosmos. In the aftermath of Explorer 1's disruptive disclosure, hypotheses flourished and discussions raged within scholarly circles. Was this a chance encounter with extraterrestrial intelligence, or perhaps a glimpse into previously unnoticed phenomena of grand proportions? The unanswered questions fueled a tireless quest for knowledge as researchers dissected data streams and examined telemetry reports for elusive signs. Amid the uncertainty, one fact remained undeniable. Explorer 1 had forever altered our understanding of the universe, pushing the boundaries of exploration and inspiring generations to continue the mission for knowledge beyond the stars. Neil deGrasse Tyson's urgent voice reverberated through the scientific community, a harbinger of disruptive news. Explorer 1 had inadvertently found a riddle in deep space. 500 obscure substances floating quietly through the measurable void, challenging all known configurations. Frenzy seized scientists and engineers alike, activating them into action. These strange items, dissimilar to anything experienced before, defined Explorer 1, our brave adventurer. Crossing nearly 50 years in space, it continued its journey, pushing limits and rewriting the rules of interstellar exploration. As researchers wrestled with the implications, it became clear that Explorer 1's legacy as a sentinel of the universe was far from over. Its revelations continued to astonish and confuse in equal measure.